Abigail! Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So nice to see you.
Likewise. Your lounge. Is that your lounge you're in? It looks
It's
fabulous,
my
darling.
bedroom.
Is it? It
Yeah,
looks
we've had a bit
fabulous.
of I feel like we've had a bit of a lockdown makeover our house over the last 12 months. I think because we spend so much time in the house, we're like, let's get rid of the magnolia everywhere. Let's go for colour.
Looks
So yeah,
awesome. I've
thank
been looking
you.
down your feed and I'm like, oh, I'm loving the dark interiors. Looks amazing.
We've gone dark, yes, which is a bit of a risk, but two of my friends sort of encouraged me to do it, but I'm so pleased we have.
It looks amazing. Hi.
Oh, thank you. Hello, everyone. Well, I'm excited you're here, Abigail. I've just been telling everybody we're going to be working the eye area today.
This is well, I've got loads of problem areas, to be honest.
You've got none. You
Yeah,
look
I'll just stick with
gorgeous.
skincare actually. But yeah, the eye area, that's a definite area for me personally, but I know a lot of people, I get a lot of requests, as I'm sure you do as well.
Absolutely. Well, maybe if we get started with you showing us your top 3 techniques for that area. So ones you either use on yourself or you particularly like using when you're
Sure.
teaching your clients. And then I'll show you 3 of mine and then we will answer people's questions because I can already see lots of questions coming up. So I'm sure there'll be loads for us to answer.
Absolutely. Okay. I must
Amazing.
admit, I just ran upstairs because I totally forgot. I need something to actually, with the eye area, you need something to slip with.
Yes.
You don't want anything too heavy, but you definitely need some slip. And yes, you can massage your eye creams in, but often it's not quite enough if we want to target that area. Okay. Yeah. So I've literally picked up, it's a rosehip seed oil.
Great.
I had a panic. I ran upstairs and I was like, oh, I've only got 2 minutes. What should I grab?
That's amazing. Well, I will use a little bit of my Fusion by Danielle, which has also got rosehip oil in. So we'll be using a really similar product for that area.
Amazing.
So
yeah, let's dot it around and under the brow.
Yeah.
Okay. Like so. So, when you say my top 3, it's actually quite difficult to pick out top 3. But I think one that is super easy to do is literally, I like to start in the middle of the brow. There's a pressure point up there, and do a push upwards, whichever finger you feel comfortable using. That's what I usually say. But because it's a pressure point, you can press reasonably firm. So a press up, and then as you kind of slowly move out and you're lifting the brow round, then you come off on the pressure is then really light as you come back in. And then you can push up and be firmer. And then lift, lift, lift. And then it's almost like you're tracing the fingers back into the middle and then up, lift.
I love this one. I use this one particularly in the morning. If I wake up with puffiness or dark circles or things just look a bit sluggish, which let's face it, they often do. This is a lovely one.
And I find once you kind of get to grips with the releasing off the pressure, because we don't want to be dragging too much inwards, you can then actually speed the movement up once you're confident with that. But it is firm and lift and then gentle under. And, you know, you can do that as many times as you want to. I find it helps widen and brighten the eyes.
Definitely. Okay. I love that one.
Good. So if we're going to focus more on the crow's feet, what I like to do is support the skin. The skin around the eyes is so much finer and a lot more delicate. So whether you support with a C shape and you're kind of just gently stretching, or with a V shape, it's whatever feels comfortable to you. And then with one of your other fingers, whether it's a pointing or a ring, I'm going to go pointing. You're zigzagging in that space where we kind of often get the crow's feet. So you can do a line from the side of the eye to the hairline and back again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
and
this.
then you might change the angle that you're supporting the skin so that you can then go slightly down and across. Because obviously the crow's feet aren't just going that way, they kind of spread out.
They do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm not pressing too hard. You need to make sure that the skin is supported when you're doing those kind of moves.
So we're not damaging, are we, that very delicate skin by doing this? We're just boosting that blood flow, boosting that circulation, helping with any sort of stagnant energy in that area.
Yeah, and then let's do the other side.
Yeah.
So that we even up. Like so.
Isn't it funny how one side's always easier than the other? It's like we've got that dexterity sort of in one side. Well, we have got that dexterity more in one side than the other. But it's almost like that side feels really natural to do. But we move across to I know for me, this side just feels more sort of awkward.
Yeah. Well, I know often because I'll demo and I seem to always, I'm left-handed. So I must be slightly facially lopsided from all the different kind of massage demos that I do. So then another one that again is good for opening up the eyes. Again, I want to whether you support the brow with fingers or with a flat hand, and then we're going to push up.
Oh, so nice. So many pressure points there.
Yeah. So we're supporting and kind of, it's a bit of a lift and a flick.
Yeah.
And we're working our way from the middle round.
So good for waking up the eyes, that one as well, isn't it? Straight away, if you're sort of tired, you know, that feeling of sort of fatigue around your eyes.
But like you said, there's lots of pressure points. I'm actually going to support like that on this one.
Great.
Again, like we said, I find sometimes on one side of my face, I use my hands in one way, but on the other, I need to change that move to be able to do the move properly. And I am going to add something else in for dark circles. I know we're going to do top 3, but I've just... Dark circles we want to drain. So I would just place, you're almost just gently placing, and it's a really delicate downwards. So you're...
like a little pulse.
Yes, you're in the skin, not the muscle.
Yeah.
Okay. So you might do that 8 to 10 times.
Yeah.
And then repeat. So I find I just kind of maybe do 8 in one position, move out slightly, do another 8. So that is then supporting some of the lymphatic drainage, basically.
Definitely.
So those are a few of my top. From the eye area, the moves, I don't like to overdo it.
No.
So
I agree.
I'd say maybe 3 minutes. 5 is actually quite a long time when you're massaging the face.
Is.
So I keep it in that 3 minutes just to target the eye area, yeah?
Definitely. I love that. And I think if anyone's drawn to doing it for longer, they're more of a just hold on an acupressure point, and you can breathe there and relax into it. But you're so right, that actual massaging, the eye area doesn't need more than a few minutes.
No, absolutely not. And like you said, I think acupressure points are great. And to be honest, the little drainage moves, you can do for as long as you want to be honest.
Exactly.
They're the great kind of moves to do if you've been having a cry.
Yes.
As I think some of us may have been doing over the past year.
Yeah.
You can literally sit there, whether it's in front of the TV or whatever, and just gently be doing that.
So lovely. It just feels soothing as well. I think that's the lovely thing about face massage and face yoga, particularly when we are doing it on ourselves. It just feels so nurturing and so nourishing. So like when you, like what you said, if we've been crying a lot, or perhaps we've had a difficult time, then even just that gentle self-touch can feel so soothing for us, and it actually helps our mind just to feel a little bit soothed and a little bit calmer as well.
Absolutely, because it's also us slowing down with the move. So again, kind of I find as I'm talking, and then as soon as you go, okay, you know, it does automatically slow that process down. Yeah.
Definitely. I think most of us need to try and go a little bit gentler with our touch on our face, because I'm sure, like you, I get many questions, people asking about pressure. And usually I say, you probably need to go a little bit gentler than what you think you need to, because we live in such a fast-paced world where we think we go quicker and harder, it's going to get better results. But actually just taking it back a little bit and going gentle, because you can always build it back up again.
Yeah.
But just starting gentle.
I think definitely gentle around the eyes. Absolutely. I think where you've got a pressure point, you can access deeper. And if we were kind of talking about the rest of the face, for that change in motion, I would change the speed.
Yes, that's a great tip.
That's another key thing, because we can go fast and invigorating.
Yeah, exactly.
But you could do actually a very similar move in the evening, but much slower.
Yes.
And there's a different all-round feeling that you get from that.
Absolutely. I think that's a great tip. Well, I will show you my 3 techniques, and then we will go on to questions. Okay. So like you, I've got so many, you know, it's hard to pick 3. So I just wanted to wait and see what 3 you do. And then I thought I'd do 3 different ones. Okay. So let's start off with one where we're using sort of the palm and a little bit of the heel of the hand. And we're just going to bring that part of the hand onto that part of the eyebrow. So what we're doing is very gently just lifting up slightly. You can even rest your hands onto your head there. And then we're going to widen our eyes. So focus on a point in front of you. Don't worry if you feel a bit silly doing this. But as you widen the eyes, we're just doing a bit of yogic eye movement here. So we're opening. You can blink if you need to, but just for a moment, do that and just breathe. So we're thinking about lifting here, but strengthening the muscle that runs around the eyes and really boosting that circulation in the eyes. So I really like just to start with that, just to widen the eyes and open them up. And then you can give them a rest for a moment. And then simple eye movements, just looking up and down. So really, really easy to do. You can do anytime, anywhere. But first of all, it's a really good one to do if you're very prone to overusing the forehead area. So if you're really prone to raising the eyebrows when you're speaking, for example, what you can do is you can place the hand onto the forehead and just encourage that muscle to stay still, and just encourage your eye muscles to just be used a bit more, because actually we often underuse our eye muscles around our eyes and in our eyes, and we tend to overuse that big frontalis muscle. So actually it's just saying to that forehead muscle, okay, you can relax, and I'm going to use the eyes more. And it also just wakes up the eyes. I mean, these techniques have been used in yoga for thousands of years. I like going side to side as well. You often don't need the hand there for side to side. Very good if you get sore eyes.
Like you said, my immediate, when you say now we look up, you immediately you tilt your head and you
tilt your head and raise. You do.
Yeah,
you do.
It takes quite a bit of concentration. You can definitely feel that when you're supporting the forehead.
Definitely. It's such a good tip. And I always say this for people that have got sort of deeper lines in this area, you know, get used to relaxing this muscle, but using your eyes more. And as soon as we use our eyes more, our energy just lifts as well. You know, it's amazing. When we're overusing this area, everything tends to feel a bit crumpled and a bit tired, but I love just opening up the eyes. So that's a really nice one that I like doing. Another one, sort of eye exercise that I like doing, and this is one I've been teaching for years, so lots of people watching will probably know this one. And again, it's one that's a bit of a funny face, but it's great for, again, strengthening all the way around the eye area. We're actually bringing the mouth into it a little bit as well. So we make an O shape with the mouth like this. And then we bring our index fingers just lightly here. They just provide a little bit of support, a little bit of resistance. Then we look up, ideally keep the forehead still, but slightly look upwards and flutter the upper eyelids. So it's called flirty eyes, this one. And you do it for around 30 seconds. You may be able to build it up to a minute as you go. But by making that really strong O shape with the mouth, not only are you strengthening the muscle around the mouth, but it helps to better engage under the eye area. The fluttering is really good for the eyelid area and very good for preventing, reducing hooded eyes. And again, it just energizes the eyes. So very good one to do if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling stressed. So let's do that for about 10 more seconds. And keep breathing in and out through the nose, ideally. And then just bring the hands down.
That's
Lovely.
actually quite difficult to keep the fluttering going.
It is. It is. It really does take strength. And it's like with all of these techniques, start gentle and build it up. Build up to 30 seconds, build up to a minute, because everybody's so different. That's the thing. It isn't sort of one size fits all. So some people may be able to do that really, really well, and straight away they can do a minute, and maybe they don't even feel much at all. And other people, after 10 seconds, that's enough. They feel like everything's opened out. So I love that one as well. And then final one, let's do an eyebrow one. So 2 fingers and thumb, and just pinching. So I really love just spending a bit of time. You can see where I am, just sort of like there. I love just spending a bit of time here. I actually put this one on my Instagram reels this morning, but just holding there and breathing for a bit. And this is so good for number 11 lines, just really helping to relax tension from that muscle. And then when you sort of hung around there for a little bit, you can just start to pinch all the way across. So great if you suffer from headaches, or if this area is getting a little bit droopy. And then I like to lift off and just start again, working all the way across. And again, you can just focus on breathing here. You can relax your face, the rest of your face as you do it. It's a great opportunity to do that. Sometimes I like to do it with eyes closed, and be quite intuitive. If there's certain points which feel a bit tender, or you feel like you're just drawn to hold there a bit longer, then you can just hold there a little bit longer.
It's funny, I find in the middle, it can be quite painful sometimes. Depends obviously how firm you're pressing, but it's almost that pleasure pain where you can feel that there's a release going on.
Definitely, I agree. And it is really nice, like we were saying earlier, just hanging around in that point, or even I sometimes like just using the thumbs and just gently bringing the head into the thumbs slightly. So rather than having to use pressure from the hands or from the fingers, you're actually just using that natural pressure of the head falling forward. And that can feel really, really nice as well. Again, if you are very sort of tender in this area.
That's actually a good one for the desk, isn't it? Not that all of us are, but if you kind of put your elbows on, you can lean in.
Great. And it's a really good point if you are feeling stressed or anxious. So perfect to do it at the desk as well. Amazing. Right. Should we take some questions, Abigail? We have so many. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Okay. So lovely to see everyone. Okay. That's an interesting question. Someone's saying, does chewing gum help for a good jawline?
Well,
I mean, I personally think maybe not.
No, if anything, it's gonna probably cause you more tension with that repetitive. And it's a short movement as well. It's not like you're kind of properly exercising. So I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no too. I would say it'd be better to do structured massage and exercise for that area, and then the rest of the time just keep this jaw area nice and relaxed. I completely agree. Patty's saying information on my teacher training. Can you send a direct message to me, Patty? And I will send you information. Hollows under the eyes. Do you have any favourite techniques for hollows under the eyes other than what we've already shared?
Hollows under the eyes is a tricky one, because often it's kind of with the aging process, we've got that loss of volume and loss of kind of fat pads and everything, and obviously we've got the shrinkage of bone that happens when we're aging as well, as well as genetics. It could be genetic. So it's a tricky one. There isn't anything that we can really do that's going to add extra volume. If anything, it's more kind of focusing on the drainage kind of things to keep the area looking fresh, getting rid of excess fluid and everything like that. So I know that's not a definite yes, this is a fix for it. What's your view on it?
I agree completely. I would say exactly the same thing. I mean, some of the techniques I showed, like the eye movements, for example, or the flirty eye area, that again will help this area to be a little bit more strengthened, the eyes to open out more. But I would agree with you. I would say just doing a little bit of gentle drainage around that area, because I think a lot of the time, whether our face is looking older or not, it's not always down to sort of lines or where our fat is. It's more down to how fresh our skin is looking, how healthy, how energized. So I think if we can just focus on that general health of the skin and not worry too much about maybe certain accumulation of fat in certain areas or certain little fine lines in other areas. So yeah, I would be in agreement with you for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Brilliant. Moves for vertical smile folds. So I'm imagining this means little lines here. Do you have any massage that you use sort of around the lips or this area?
Yeah, well, I will purposely go up and down the nasolabial lines. So pushing up, and I will be quite firm, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't put oil on the rest of my face, but I'd be pushing up. It's more of an up and a release.
Yes.
An up and a release. You can make yourself snarl.
Yeah.
I know it's not very attractive, but I'd be working on the muscles from that point of view. I think that's particularly helpful. And those kind of moves.
Yes, they're lovely.
Around the lips and kind of as you're coming out, lifting up. Yeah, so it's not just an outwards, there is a lift with that movement as well.
Great. I think they're really great techniques. I would say really similar moves. You can even just press if it's this particular area worried about here. Sometimes I like just pressing the acupressure point there and just breathing into it. Again, it's about circulation, it's about energy. And you can even just sort of massage into that area. I quite like doing that. But similar to, I like doing different sort of massages around this area. And if, again, lines here, you can sort of really get into that area. That works quite nicely as well. Let me see. Loads of questions about eyes. So I will save this live, guys, so you can re-watch our techniques about the eye area. Yes, I will save the live. Lots of people asking that. Someone's saying, Tracy's saying, I have a small fatty lump on the inner corner of upper eyelid. So I'm guessing this, that area. Yeah. Anything you recommend for that?
Well, to be honest, those kind of things, it's a little bit more dermatology than just face massage and facials. So that would be my personal advice, is to go and seek some other professional advice.
Definitely, just to rule out that it's not connected to something else, because particularly around that very delicate eye area, and if it is a real sort of accumulation of one fatty lump, particularly on just one side, definitely seeking more sort of medical advice. I mean, from an aesthetic point of view, all those lovely ones that we were talking about with the massage are all beautiful, but I agree, just seeking some dermatology or even go to your doctor about a particular lump in that area. Lovely. Let me see. Any favorite techniques for number 11 lines?
There's quite a few. However, I do find with forehead and frown lines, because it's such a strong muscle, it's difficult to get, I think, the kind of results that a lot of people want. So I always think with those kind of areas, we have to be realistic with what we can achieve. And it definitely takes consistency. It absolutely does.
Yes.
I think a really, really simple one is if you kind of come over the back with your hands and use your pointing fingers and be as firm as you like. And it's not just on top of each other. I'm kind of going across and across.
Love
and
that.
Lifting up. You were with our brow pinches again. I think that's a great one for getting into that particular area, that muscle there. I'd probably take those moves up the brow as well.
Yeah.
Just to kind of stretch out those muscles and ease those off. But it's consistency.
It is.
It really is consistency.
I completely agree. Massage in that area, similar to what you said, is what I recommend too. And I also just encourage people to get to know their own faces, because often our emotions really link to certain repetitive expressions and lines that eventually etch into our skin. So particularly things like anxiety and worry can be really linked to these sort of number 11 lines. So just sort of catching yourself in the mirror at points in the day, you know, noticing, because sometimes we can go hours and hours without realizing of pulling this area in. So actually just passing a mirror, you know, if you're in your house during the day, and then just do a bit of your massage, you know, like what you showed, or I sort of do similar ones, like this area, and just try and ease some of that tension out before it becomes too much of a deep line, because we just do get these lines because of that repetitive expression all the time, and then we age, and obviously we haven't got that same level of collagen that's sort of plumping it and make it bounce back.
Wearing dark glasses, because, you know, if you're in the sun, you immediately start squinting up the whole face.
Exactly.
So, yes, there was look fabulous as well, but excuse the dog for a second. There's
so cute.
Can I answer one of the questions? Because I know one of them that cropped up was, can we do these massages if we've got Botox and fillers?
Great, yes.
Which I think is an important one. Some people have that, others don't. You know, so I suppose my caveat is, if it's Botox, I would usually leave it at least 4 weeks from having Botox to then massaging. Okay, it's kind of, you know, it's done its job and its action, and then it's kind of setting it. If you've got fillers, I would leave it a minimum of 6 weeks, a minimum, before you start massaging over it. So yes, you can, but you've got to leave enough space after. You can massage your face up until literally the moment you go and have those things done. It's the space afterwards. Okay.
Definitely. And, you know, I always say to check with your practitioner or doctor that gave you the treatment as well, because everybody has different amounts in different places, different types. You know, even Botox itself, it is one type of injectable that people can go and have. So again, just seeking advice as well. I mean, most practitioners will say an absolute minimum of 2 weeks, won't they? But like you say, you know, being cautious about it, but gaining that advice first of all. But then, you know, later on, once you've reached that 4 to 6 week point, you can start to bring some of that massage in for sure. But again, you know, work with your face, really listen to what your face is saying and not saying to you.
And actually, if you have just had some Botox here, don't stop massaging the rest of your face. You know, still do the exercises and everything else on the rest of your face. So you know, don't kind of suddenly go, right, that's it, I'm done for a month. You've got to keep up that side of things as well. And to be honest, if you are having, let's say, Botox, because it is preventing the muscle from moving as effectively, I actually think once you can then massage at least after 4 weeks, it's then really beneficial, because we need to keep that blood flow going through the muscles. We need to kind of keep that health going on.
Absolutely. And
just because it suddenly looks smooth, it doesn't mean I'm fixed.
Absolutely.
Health going.
Definitely. Lots of clients have come to me and have said that, for example, they've had Botox in this area, but then they found an accumulation of perhaps fluid around this area, or more dark circles, or the eyebrows starting to sort of droop down a little bit, or even sort of duller skin around here. Because again, like you say, you're sort of freezing or relaxing that muscle completely there, and it's going to affect the energy flow a little bit. So massaging then around this area is important. I mean, I've never had Botox or fillers myself, so you know, this is just advice that I get from doctors or dermatologists that I gain advice from, and also feedback I get from clients as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my clinic is in central London, so my clientele is really quite varied. So you know, you need to have that knowledge and be prepared for whatever's going to arrive in the clinic. You need to know that you can treat it or not, basically.
Absolutely, definitely. Well, maybe if we take 2 more questions, Abigail, because I know there are lots of questions here. Loads about eyes, so I'm trying not to go back too much about the eyes again. Loads about eyes. Hopefully you guys can rewatch this. Favorite exercise for toning the jaw?
Jaw, I find, particularly with massage, you can get a great response with.
Yeah.
There's lots of great ones, actually. I'm just trying to think I don't think there's one core one, but I suppose from a massage point of view, yes, we're focusing on this bit. However, I would always include, our muscles, our platysma muscles are covering all that. So I would always do some massage on the neck first, whether it's literally circles to ease that off. I love getting knuckles involved, so I've kind of made that kind of a gliding upwards. I think
I love this one.
Simple, effective, because you've kind of got a knuckle under and a knuckle above. We're then kind of working both areas that we want to.
Definitely, absolutely love that. And I would say the same, massaging this area to lift, but remembering everything's connected, so if we want to tone this area, keeping this area nice and firm and this area as well, because it's all sort of a jigsaw puzzle of muscles, so to speak. There's a facial exercise that I quite like to sort of lift this area. You wrap the lips around the teeth like this, and then lip corners are lifting up. And then index fingers here, and they're quite nice to smooth any lines that are created as you do that. So really feeling those cheeks getting involved as the lip corners lift up. And then you tilt the head back slightly, obviously careful if you've got any neck issues. And you can hold there and breathe for sort of 5 to 10 seconds. Keep lifting the cheeks up, keep lifting the lip corners up, and feel that jaw getting involved too. And you can come back down, and let's do that just one more time, coming back. Wrapping the lips around the teeth all the time here. And you can come back down. And that's always nice to finish just with a little bit of release as well, because the lovely thing about facial exercise, we are lifting and toning, but as with all exercise, you can sometimes then build up a bit of tension and a bit of stress. So it's often nice just to take a moment just to relax any tension in the jaw. So let's take one more question, Abigail. That's an interesting one. I don't actually know the answer to this one. So maybe before we take a question that we can both answer, maybe you may know. Do you have any idea? It says, do you have any idea why the upper lip area turns green after threading?
Not specifically, because obviously we're threading. You're pulling out basically the hair bulb.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it would turn green. No. I know when you breastfeed a baby, if they've got wind, do you know this? If they've got wind, they get blue tint. You can tell if a baby needs winding because they get a blue tint across their upper lip. I wish I knew
this when I was breastfeeding my girls. It's a bit late now, they're 8 and 4, but I'm sorry, we don't know exactly why that is. It might be worth asking your therapist that does the threading.
I'm wondering if the hair bulb is pulled out, whether the skin naturally wants to tighten up. Maybe
Interesting. Loads of people are saying how much they've enjoyed it. It's lovely. Well, quite a few people asking what I think of gua sha tools for the face. I mean, I'm a fan of gua sha. What about you, Abigail?
Yeah, I like them. I've got one set here, actually.
Yeah, I've got one set
I think they're a nice addition. Yes, I've got literally on my desk. I've got one of these on my desk. I've got one of these.
I've got a little precision tool. They're a lovely little addition. You don't need them, do you? But they are a great addition.
Yeah, they're not needed. What I do find is you can get in deeper.
Yes.
With them. So, more precision with them. And where I find sometimes if someone has a sensitive skin, hands can get hot and warm because you're generating heat and getting the blood flow going. Whereas one of these, I find, gives a cooler massage. So if you are prone to a rosacea or sensitive, actually, I definitely do like using these, but purely from that point of view. But yeah, I love them. Absolutely love them.
I agree, definitely. And they're really nice to be kept in a fridge as well. I've just got myself one of those sort of little fridges that I put in my dressing room, and I put them all in there. And it's lovely because they're all cold when they come out. So it's nice just to hold sort of under the eye area.
So what I do, I'm not as decadent as having a beauty fridge, but I'll get a bowl of cold water and put 2 ice cubes in it. However, yours sounds a lot more swanky, and I need one of those.
Well, I'll tell you a secret. I saw the lovely little beauty fridges, and I may well get one of those little ones for like sort of little products. But this one is sort of slightly bigger, because the beauty fridges are fairly small. This one's sort of slightly bigger, and it was from Argos, and it was £80 from Argos, and actually it's great because it fits all my tools in. So I've got everything in there, you know, my face ice globes, all my different crystal rollers. It's lovely, it's all in one place.
Should it be, because from the sound of it, it sounds like it's a mini drinks fridge.
It's a mini drinks fridge.
You actually put your skincare and your gadgets in. I love that.
It is. It's meant to keep your beers cold, but it's got my gouaches in.
Get a tonic in there as well with all of your products.
Exactly. Abigail, thank you so much. It's been such a nice live, and I will save this, and we'll do a screen record and send it to you as well, and you can pop it on your channel.
Amazing.
So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thank you everybody for watching. Thank you.
Lovely. And we'll do it again soon.
Yep, sounds good. Take care.
Take care.